Yeah, Val's pinging me.
Yeah, I just put a message in there.
All right, looks like we're back up and running.
Okay.
I wish I could help my internet. It just not does not want to help itself today. Let me check the stream here. Am I in here? Reload the page. Are we live? It is thinking about it. Oh, yep, it's working. It's working as best as it could. Sorry, folks. I wish I can do better with the internet. I sadly I don't control the world yet. My world domination has been on hold. First act of President of the World is everyone gets good
loaded.
internet.
So beautiful valley city.
All right, here we go. Let me grab that.
There we go. Some's very futuristic, some feels little alien-like landscapes, some are completely like diesel punk, solar punk.
Yeah.
Steampunk even. But it creates a very good variety of stuff. It's like that stuff wouldn't happen because of this stuff. Yeah, by which laws of what? Our world? Our world kind of is, let's be honest, trash. We can't advance any further. And we're like, we made hoverboards. You made a seatless Segway, essentially. So we're not really doing all that hot. How about healthcare? We're not ready for that conversation.
I want my
different
my
worlds to have
IRL.
these concepts, I think, is a fun way because again, it could happen.
I want my IRL. We call it character builder. I want to reset my reset how I look. Like until we got there, we have not reached the future.
Son.
Nanites. Like, thank you, Uncle Toaster. This is what I wanted to be the entire time. There we go. And if you guys want to, I can also put this in the server, like after we put this up, even though it's just slides, in case you guys want to, like, follow along later on. I can do that. Just a simple little download. And here we go. For the Dark World, this image is beautiful. I even like the idea of this, like, every now and then you would just walk down over this, I'm not sure what you would call that formation of water and river, where you can just kind of walk over here through this design. Looks really, really cool. Really, really cool.
Yeah, because I like that last one we have for the Light City because again, it's just so broad. But it's like, oh yeah, this is such a beautiful world, but our world's above it because we're better or some like weird, stupid reason. So it's like, okay, it's just a big city that's in the sky because it's just massively built. But then there's other places outside of that district where it's like, oh, it just looks like this, and it kind of looks like Detroit. Like, okay,
yeah,
not everything is perfect.
Like where their city looks beautiful, they're destroying the world. Where the cities look dark, they're healing the world. they're who knows? The part of the story I think would definitely
they're infusing
go
their
into
potatoes with dark magic. It'll give you cancer.
Dark potatoes.
Yeah. There's all kinds of things that it can delve into. But again, because it plays Yo, we got that purple potato. You want sweet yam? But I do see it that way because if you keep it a certain way to follow the story, basically it still follows the same path. It's just different narrative. So everyone still has the same game.
Yeah. I think with this, since we're already hitting the 2-hour mark
that
here.
one
For
the middle where it's like
this one
cavern, I think is just so cool 'Cause it makes me think of, like yeah, it's like the world of Riddick. If you've seen Chronicles of Riddick, the 3rd one,
Yes.
how it
Yeah.
kind of, the city at the beginning of the movie, like New Mecca, it's so beautiful, it's just it feels good, like, you feel like you could take a summer vacation there, it's fantastic. I feel the same way on this one, so it's like, "Oh, well, they're disgusting, it's cavernous, like, don't drink the water there," kind of concept, like, well, you can still enjoy the things. So, again, it's all about the story that helps people play with it. So it's like, "Oh, is it actually bad?" It's like, "Okay, well, everywhere there's gonna be some dude trying to offer drugs, doesn't mean that the whole thing is bad."
Yeah. Like reality. Are there bad neighborhoods? Yeah. Are there good people in those bad neighborhoods? Most of them.
Yeah.
No. There's a few bad,
Again,
a
it's just
bad
the way the
apples
story
there.
goes.
Val says, "I'm heading out. Good
Yeah,
luck,
but again, there's stuff
brainstorming you
that
two." Thank you, Val.
yeah, sure. Thanks for hanging out with us.
uh,
Yeah, no, I see it working that way because again, even in real life, these are things that are like the untold stories of like, what's the narrative? Well, the greatest. We're the best. We know exactly. Everyone relies on us. We are the middle market of the universe. We take care of everything. Trust us. Like, okay, cool. But then you start looking at the gaps like, okay, but are we going to talk about we don't talk about when we are eating each other. We don't talk about the cannibalistic times. That was like 2 months ago. We don't talk about ancient history, okay? Moving on. We're opening up a
moving
school
on.
today.
Don't look at that area.
Okay.
It says
Okay.
don't look at
So
it. I feel
don't
like
look good at the Big Mac, baby Nato.
oh, Has Been Hotel. I'm just throwing this one out. Has Been Hotel has a like the base story. I think really can
Yeah.
relate to probably some of this too. Just like the heaven and hell, and just like how the
Mhm.
dichotomy of that city. Granted, you know
Yeah.
I think it is because there's a lot of good characters in the hell and has been like good characters, but it's hell. And then you have
I
some of
think
the
the
just
fun part, yeah,
go
is
for it, yeah.
yeah, no, because I was like taking like a glance at the broad spectrum of like the world types, like, well, how would you define it? It's like again, it's about listening to the narrative. Um,
Yeah.
because at any point, if there was no law to it, if you just walked everywhere, everything is great, everything's beautiful. Or it's a little scary because you don't know. So in this sense, like again, people look at it like, what's the dark world? I mean, like if you were well, again, they paint it as though it's the bad thing, and it's like, oh, you're one of the filth that we cannot have toxic in the world. But like to them, I seen someone do a social test where there's like in theory a system that works with anarchy or socialist in like entirely. It was like, oh, it's a beautiful world. Everything worked. So it's like in this sense, like, oh, they make some bullshit reason why it's like the lands are toxic, so the plants that grow cause like poisons to the mind through like spores and stuff. So it's like it's just not good. But on their end, it's just like, no, we take care of everything because this is the way that we've always done it. We follow the way of the land. The land taught us how to do this stuff. Okay, that's cool, but this part of your stuff is not good. Well, it's only fair is fair. If you steal someone thing, then they have the right to fight you over it. Well, it's like you shouldn't have stolen it in the first place. But in the light world, there's laws. It's like, oh, this person broke a rule. Now we have to do a court system kind of thing. Okay,
Yeah.
there in that way it works, but in this way it feels very direct and it works. So which side is better? The player gets to decide that for themselves. So again, it's very equal.
You know what? Maybe even just throwing this out there, just as a play mechanic, as you're playing the world, you you I guess born or whatever on each side, but you can later on choose which side resonates most with you as a
Yeah.
character. And I think that if you start leaning towards that, you start going to that, and there's something as a developers for like games and stuff like that you can do because you're probably going to want on the developer side, you're looking at numbers, right? You start noticing that man, the dark side is getting really, really popular. It's like 2 to 1. We got to put some incentives to make people work on the light side, and you can have that work into the game mechanic, try to sell people on your side, and then maybe
Yeah.
it's 2 to 1 on the light side. So you have to do some game things, and they're like, hey, you guys really want to come over here. And I think in a way that's a reflection of how the real world works. Is everyone wants to come to their side. Like we have cookies.
Yeah.
No, we
Because that's
have
just how it works.
blessed cookies.
Yeah. Exactly. It's kind of like the elementary kind of argument. Well, it's like my Pokemon card's better, and it's like, well, mine's better. It's blue. Like, okay. Because I
I bet
actually
you don't
wanted to
have
tie
blue.
this because I have this set for my MMO is that like you can still do both sides, but you can have like a single play where you kind of do world expansion stuff. You have your own settlement that you help pillage villages kind of thing, or ones that need to be incorporated back into the faith that were lost due to war. Either side, but you still leave it open to where you can do the same skills and same quests. You're bringing people into your new settlement and you can
Yeah.
still kind of open it up like, "I'm glad that we did this thing, but I wanna follow my own rules." So you get to choose which side that you can kind of lean into. So it creates that middle trade market area where it's like, "Oh, the people who go to that desert, it's seen as taboo or it's full of thieves and stuff," or, "The black markets, black market's dangerous." But in this world, it's like, yeah, you play the middle ground because either way, no one's getting the stuff that they want or the stuff that they need, and you're making it easy. So don't care, just don't be an asshole in my own city, but you can trade here. And
Yeah.
that will open players to go like, do I want to stick with this side and follow it more that way? But that does remove these things, but you can profit better on the ones that you want to choose to, or you can try to stick in the middle.
Well, actually, that leads me. Let's. I want to move to our talking section. That's why I'm making this one because I want to put in kind of our two minds together or two big brains, and we would talk about because we're gonna have like our ideal MMO, something that you would like to play and I would like to play. It's going to be a little different. So something that's right off the cuff. You don't have to think about too much the
Yeah.
details. I'm going to erase my other heads here. Flip me like I'm there we go. Like a pancake. There we go.
Okay.
There we go. Talking session. All right. There we
Yeah.
go. That looks good enough. Uh
Cool.
so my task to you, T, could you give me a elevator speech on your perfect MMO?
Yeah, I have a gist written down, and that's why I was like, I don't want to tie what we were going over into the stuff that I put into mine because that's how I feel like I can picture mine working. But I
Yeah.
feel like the broad spectrum, painting the world, a whole nother thing. Oh, wrong one. No, I don't need that. Back up. MMO. Yes, notebook.
There we go. I got my tiny
So
little desk.
excellent, perfect. We're sharing the mic.
Yeah,
Okay.
put,
So for me, I would love to make this MMO based on the game that I was actually in development with before it died out.
oh, okay.
So when you wake up into this world, it was kind of like a very Jack 2 inspired feeling for like the PlayStation 2 back then. Um, but when you first open up into the world, you're kind of in between these two sides that are having problems, but then you realize like, oh, it's not just these two because that's just the border that you fell on. So when you handle that right away, you talk to these like people that are in a trade agreement or something, or like kingdom envoys, like they're the ones disputing it. So you happen to be like,
Yeah.
that doesn't make sense. Why not this? So suddenly you clear that up and like, okay, we'll wait on this. So now you're introduced into a story that has conflict. So you can either decide to follow it or just world explore. But once you clear this up and you leave the summon building that you somehow showed up in with them, you take a look outside and you realize the world you are in is completely inverted. So when you look up at the sky, directly ahead where the sun would be is like a dwarf star, and what's Orbiting that is a smaller star that creates your sun and night cycles. And as you see the sun star going further away, the night sky is shown a little bit more, and the stars that you see are actually the city on the other side of this inverted world, completely upside down. So you are technically inside a planet for this one. And the idea is that this place is so massive that they're trying to figure out how to use the gravity space that's in the middle of the core near the core of this planet, which is the dwarf star. And so you realize this is a war of class systems. And so because you're on the inverted surface, everyone fights against each other. Whereas as you progress into the game, you realize that the classes above you in the floating cities or the like futuristic cities that are closest to the dwarf star that have like zero gravity and stuff, those ones are the ones that are ruling the system. So you as a player have to decide which playfield you want to aim for, and this will then allow you to further progress your story. And as you progress, you, of course, you develop your character, your skills, your story, and now you can start playing as different parties to try to basically like solid snake sneak into these newer cities in the sky, kind of like Treasure Planet. You
Yeah.
have to take different ways to get further in to try to fight the corrupt system. And because the way that it is, the middle area, that's just kind of like the floating cities. I really wanted this to play like Gravity Rush. I love the way that game was set up.
Rowdy what? Yeah.
You have to find a way to basically fix the trade market system that they're abusing. Because some of these places, it could either be these cities are selling slaves, but in this sense, for them, slaves are just contract workers that have to follow certain term agreements. And so some of them get abused where it's like, well, because of your contract through this company, it doesn't specifically say that we can't do this. So you're going to have to work this time. We give you these days for breaks, but then you have to work double time after that immediately. So people are selling themselves to these companies. So you have to essentially fight the big companies. And I think that's a much cooler thing than rather just like, I don't like this kingdom because they have a green flag. Like it's just okay, whatever. You want
Yeah.
land, resource, what's up? No, we need people. People are important. We care for our people, but we need them to work. Okay. And how are you doing that? Forced labor. Oh, oh, could have seen that. What else was the big surprise? Murder. Oh, wasn't ready for that one. So now you have to figure out where all these people are going, and it's kind of bringing in some of that Helldivers kind of feeling. You go into these underground, well, technically floating, but these dark market, like kind of like almost like floating submarine cities. Think of like a Vegas strip, but like dirty down, dangerous, almost like League of Legends slums kind of vibe, cyberpunk, something easily wrong around the corner kind of thing. You have to fight your way through these companies that run these because they're the ones that are kind of like the laundering like money service. And so you have to fight these companies, and essentially you can go as a big team or you go as this massive like cruise ship that all these companies come together certain, special islands, and you and a massive community flux of players have to go in to fight these ones. So it can go full on, everyone's there and chill until someone starts actually setting up the goal for the mission to finish. So even if you beat these levels, you can go to a different one. So they're endless, but it still feels
Yeah.
very rewarding. So it's a full on like power grab of class systems. So again, kind of like what I was bringing up with the elves being rugged. Maybe they're the ones on the surface level because they like being connected with the earth and stuff, but they're strong and fighters, tough. Yeah. Otherwise, the ones in the floating cities,
Build Earth
elegance,
tough.
power, um, all kinds of things. So, and that's why I like a lot of these concept of worlds. So it's a world completely inverted. It changes the whole perspective. We're not on just flat Earth, not on a round planet, going to a different world. You're completely in something new. So the whole idea is that you're always here because you can't
Yeah.
technically leave the surface. But maybe who knows? If a second game for it came out, you start to explore through the outside of the world too. Whole new game mechanic, but follows the same system. Never know.
Sequel bait,
Could be fun.
if
Could be
anything
fun.
else.
Yeah, like that could potentially be like the story ending of if you actually follow quest lines for this one too. You start to actually dig your way through, and it's like we have found there is something through the crust. There's something out there, and we have found a way to get to it. So, like for this planet, it is incredibly beyond massive. So who knows? It could be like its own little like the theory of the universe. What's beyond the universe? Well, we'll never know, but we could get there. So there it is. The battle
I
of
think
class systems.
if you, well, you said this was a game you worked on before, but if you could rename it into something that you would put it, what can you think of one off the top of your head?
Hmm. The idea I had for this one, because like I brought this idea as like, what if this was like a single player's thing? So this is the story of Ark, and what is Ark? It could be Magic of Arcane, or Anarchy, or the Ark
Ooh,
of Morality. So this, or it's again, it's like the story of the Ark. You have to travel through this death-defying um, instance that is bound to happen, but you have to find a way to keep these things together without overdoing it. So to each species kind of thing. You have to play the balance line. So it was something around the term of arc. So I was thinking um, something archaic. I would probably call it something like the void of arc. But if it's MMO, you want it something more catchy. Arkanoid,
um, Arkanoid. I think that
because
could
you're
work.
technically inside a gigantic, massive, universe-sized asteroid floating around. That's why nothing's ever broke. Like, oh, what about planets colliding? We are the biggest fucking planets. We are basically the black hole. The black hole gets taken in by us. That's why our planet smells so sweet because it's sweet and dense. So, I guess I'd probably call this MMO Arcoid.
Arkoid. I think I
This is
like
the
that.
tale where you must find the unity of balance, morality, and power. This is Argoid.
Some shit like that.
I'm thinking like becoming a mob boss somehow fits into the realm really well of just like someone who's
Oh,
trying to
absolutely. Because
correct the
that's how.
system.
Yeah, because that's the way I like those stories. It's like the system's there, but it's like, well, what about these things that happen? Well, yes, outside yes, it looks bad. We got Italian mobsters walking around flat caps and trench coaches, and they busting out the cops, and they're like, "Hey, he's with us. You keep walking, Johnny. I pay you 9 to 5. Okay, move along." And suddenly the cops are under your thumb. Like, this is scary. But on that side, our city has been the safest. Ain't nobody got invaded on our turf because we understand. Hey, you have your life. You got troubles, come to us. We might try to work it out with you, but just don't step on our toes. You come knocking on the door asking for help, we'll break some bread and we'll fix it for you. So if this system is basically, it's basically a mob thing because I like those stories. It's the underdog story where it's like, oh,
Yeah.
the one from the slums, because that's where you spawn into this world. You're in the battle of these like two like things in the slums. Like, well, how did you get here? Something brought you here, so you must find this story. And so you're the one, like, if you follow the quest line, I know there's something out there. I have to find it. But for now, I have to fix what I got. So you just come in, you're from the slums, and you now suddenly have the ability to traverse these different class cities around the entire inverted world. So you have to play the rule of like, okay, do I follow this creed or do I follow this creed? Because then technically, as the player, it's your it's your story, but everyone's already
Yes.
on it. So it's like, oh, you're playing this type of class. Well, yes, we're on this side because we believe this. And again, opens PvP stuff. Same thing like we are talking about with the general MMO. It creates the same story but different narrative. So it still lets
Also,
you play different sides.
something to throw out here, just with the world where you were talking about how it's inverted, right? And
Yeah.
it's just going back in the Aeon. So Aeon, the world is kind of like that, where it is inverted, and the skyboxes are going to be awesome. Let's see if I can do skybox. Let's see if I can show it. So when you're on the dark side, if you look up, you're seeing the light side of the world.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm not going to find images because I happen to be searching for it. But yeah, when you would look up in the sky, you would see like the white towers and stuff like that. If you're in a dark side, if you're a dark side,
Yeah.
you're seeing like the dark towers and something. This just kind of shows a little bit of. Oh, there you go. There's the wiki. That's how it looked from the
Yeah.
original. So if you chose
Nice.
dark side here, again, definitely not the same game, but I think it definitely has a bit of like a bit of what you're talking about there. And you look up, you would see this, and then if you're here, if you look up, you saw that. Really
Yeah,
cool,
because I
like
think what
art.
really drew those ideas to think of like Halo or Reach or some shit. Like when you had the view to like look up, the idea of like seeing the planets that were like, oh, these planets are nearby. This can gives us an eclipse every now and then, and it's like Saturn or some shit. But then like as the planet you're on, and suddenly you see this massive like Elysium ring, you're like, oh, that's cool. Then that was the feeling that I
Yeah,
wanted to get. So this game that I actually got to work on a bit with this company, we end up coming up with that idea, and I was like, "Hang on, what if we do it this way instead?" Because then it's like, are we in space? We have space, but we have ground. And
yeah,
then how to change it up? Well, it's like, well, obviously the planet is round. You're on the planet. But hear me out. Think of like the Space Odyssey, how it's like, well, how do you create artificial gravity? By spinning, rotation causes an inertia of some sort. The planet itself is doing that. So technically, if we are already with it, we are moving with it too. So invert the planet. And then we had someone on that team do like a quick concept sketch of like it's the middle where the player is really small from the back view. We see them like a silhouette, and they're
yeah,
looking up, and you're in the slums. But as you see up in the sky, it's like, oh, this is like a beautiful, like sky, blue clouds, birds, airships, floating cities. Then it starts getting prettier and prettier, and then more futuristic and fantasy. And then at the very top, you see the two stars in the middle of the planet. Then it had the title's name that we were still working on, and then just behind the title, it was the other side of the planet where it's like the night sky. You see like the cosmic, like nebulas, and then you would see the upside down city. So we were trying to tie the name to where it shows like the upside down city in it to kind of play of like, oh yeah, the world, uh, like within or some shit. And it was such a cool idea. I was like, "I love that. I want us to really do that." So they're like, "No, we like that. It's awesome. Let's work with it." And it just never took off. I was so mad. The
it,
partner that we had, his name was Josh. He's never gonna fucking do anything with his life, so I'm not worried about him like, "You're talking about me." You're outing yourself. So have fun, Josh. But Josh, him and his partner were really close on this thing. And when I came in a call one day, he was like, "Hey, so um I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but Josh has decided to leave and he took the funding." And when I heard that, I was like, Josh, I would have rather heard that you were in an
you
accident. Go
you
fuck yourself.
that's
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
oh my god, that and the horrible
I
thing is
was so upset.
people like that I think just have no feelings for others at all, because what you could have created, one, a fun long lived career for a lot of folks. And if you shoot and you kind of hit, because you don't have to hit like so hard, you don't need to make big huge numbers. You just need to get people
Yeah.
who can see the vision and join in with you. There's like we're talking about a lot of games, and a lot of these games are still alive. They're not big hitters like uh, the Wizards 101, Aeon, World of Warcraft. Again, these guys were they were giants. They're dwarfs of what they used to be. And
Or like, what is
you
that
know,
big one? Like Dota, and like what
Dota,
is it?
yeah.
Starlink, Starset, whatever. But
Well,
yeah,
and like you ruined it. You ruined it for a lot of folks. um, I'll mind if I paint mine? At least my MMO I had in mind. So
yeah, go for it. Floor is yours, bud.
It's a bit different. It's a bit different. I feel like I need to say that as a warning. So much of the story happens before. Well, no. Actually, no. In the beginning is where we put most of the story. Actually, that's pretty much most, if not all, the story is in the beginning. So there's there's this world, and it has demons, dragons, monsters, orcs, and stuff like that. And between most of the races, there's alliance forces between all of them. They're not all peaceful. Some hate just one particular. Some hate this group. There's not 100% between a cohesion between everybody on it, but most of the civilizations you're going to find, they're mixed and somewhat shape in nature. A lot of that's already happened in their history, and like deeper lore between each town you go. But between that, there was the big rivalry, or the one bad guy for everybody is this dimensional demon, which they're just a different alien basically, but they call them demons. They wanted to take over this planet, basically make it their own, repopulate in order to save their nation. They landed on here. This is an opportunity that they could survive, but they want to come here. They had a huge hero. It's a big name hero that every nation loved. And basically they needed to do something in order to save the world. And they put it in flux, which is why your character comes to this world initially, pretty much. But this set or this thing that he did to save the world, it will collapse in 10 years, and that 10 years is in-game and out-game time. So your involvement within the 10 years of the game is going to literally shape the game. Like this whole, you'll hear about the story tons of times from different points of views from everybody. But as you go, there's preset things that's going to happen in the world. So like you'll have basically like the different kingdoms or the surviving kingdoms. If you do nothing, if there's no one that shows up, eventually the world is going to get destroyed in 10 years. And at the 10-year mark, the whole big thing with the 10 years is if nothing is done, the game servers shut down and no one can play the game anymore. So there's a real world kind of touch to it, but depending on what you can do, you can really change things. So there's like a kingdom that's not really good. You somehow do a couple quests with them, and you tie them to work with another kingdom, and now they're working together. They become one kingdom, or maybe they work really well, and now they become stronger, sharing resources. You talk to one town, whatever, and it's really just how you engage with certain places, or maybe you become just as bad as the demons and become an even worse force. You can just work with players and become your own nation on there. Not much story. You're basically making that story on the fly within this 10-year time frame. So if you are a player, you pop in, and you engage with the world, it's going to start shaping to how that's how that works out. And as things wrap up within each year, there'll be a huge world event. Well, I'm thinking like we're year one at the end of the year, everyone's Happy New Year. If you're in the world during a Happy New Year, everyone's celebrating. The day two, a huge asteroid comes in and smacks the world and really starts changing things up. Now you can't do certain things. Next year, maybe we'll have this new leader or overlord are coming up. Maybe there's certain mechs on there, but anything that's up to like what we like to throw at the players during that time. And depending on how things work out, the idea is to be to either find this jewel or this thing that or whatever this catalyst that this big hero did in order to put the world in flux to save it. You have to restore it within that 10 years. And it can only be at the moment of the 10-year mark that you can do it. And if you do it, then the game resets in a way that it starts back over, but everything's restored. And now all the NPCs don't know anything's changed. You now know a whole lot about this world, where it's going to go. And then you play it again.
Nice.
Yeah. And I'm not sure exactly how it can go. I feel like there's a lot of ways, but I want to have like a lot of preset stuff that the whole idea is that the game, no matter how far you go, where you change it or where you go, it's going to change. It's going to be ever changing. It's going to always be different. And the experience that you had the first time you played it is going to be different than the other time, but it's still always going to be the same game. You get to, remake your character after every 10 years. Someone plays this game for 40 years. They're going to have a hell of a tale. But they're going to always talk about, man, the generation 1, it just isn't played like the generation 2. Everything's different. Now there's these new things going on. And, for some reason they did this. And then there's someone siding with the demons. A whole lot of comparisons. There's things you can go to this city, whatever. And I would like a game just built on there's a whole lore that's happening beforehand. You go through it, then you go through it again. Now you have this new history that you've created from the previous gameplay that none of the NPCs know. And you try to tell them about that. If you played certain things or talked to NPCs before, I want you to be able to bring up, things about them. So they're like, how did you know about this? And maybe they think you're a suspect where they trusted you before. And now you're in jail. Stuff like that.
Yeah. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Thank you. I think that will be an interesting thing. I wish I could make it. I wish I could make it. I think it'll be one of those games you'd play for the rest. I think then don't think there's any game that's quite like that, but I think it would also fix one thing. When you play like the vanilla version of a game, right? Like how it used to be.
Yeah.
And then after some time, they make changes. It's not quite the same. Maybe you're still playing it, and then like, man, I wish I can go back to it. Imagine knowing that on a certain date, it will go right back to it, and you'll be able to have those experiences again, relive them a little bit differently now, but because you now know this, but now there's new changes happening in that time that can only happen then.
I think that's a fun way of going about it because it basically does like a full refresh rather than trying to like play a copy. Like just changing the code for it to set up that one thing that it needs to be elsewhere. So it's not always like, oh, if we find this thing and we see like this, so you find this specific like mountain, it's always there. Like no.
Yeah.
But allowing it to be where the players themselves have to actually like save the world by saving the game, I think is a really cool way of going about it.
Yep, and if I guess if the developers you ever get nervous enough, maybe they'll just start it up and just create a story or something like that, or they create up a new game and there's now it's a new world you have to save, but now hopefully this time you get better at it. I don't know. Like, okay, we did this.
Yeah.
We've experienced this before, guys. We don't want to lose this game. They now have big booty Latinas as a race. You can't be the person, but you're the booty. It's great. We don't want to lose this. But I think that I think now is a good time to put a close. We've been going for almost 3 hours on this one. Thanks for everybody who's been tuning in to this lovely chat about the Perfect MMO. This is going to be on YouTube. So if you guys want to leave a chat, leave a message behind, maybe we'll take those ideas. Next week, we're going to be bringing back, I guess we'll call it a crowd favorite idea because of our relationship to VR chat. And that is the 7 layers setup of VR equipment, which I think is going to definitely entail some research. I think it's going to be a fun one.
Yeah.
It's going to be different. I have to do research. I'm not and I can tell you what my challenges are already. I have an idea what level 1 and level 2 could be. Level 7 for VR setup, I'm not sure what that means. At least
I have
not
a
right
idea.
now. You have a good idea? All right. So we'll be back doing the same thing. Maybe we'll be in VR chat next time so more people can hop in with us. You'll have to stay tuned for that. Thank you guys for sticking around for as long as you have been and dealing with some of my technical issues that was going on and bearing with me because I had to skip a week because, work. And a lot of you guys out there can understand that. But until then, you guys take it easy. We'll see you in the next stream, which will be happening tomorrow, hosted by D and Gamer. I think they're both coming back, right?
It'll just be D Gamers doing a thing, but I'll be there as well.
All right. Yeah. So it'll be a Gamer and me, and you'll see us all there on the D Gamers podcast, and we'll see you there soon. Take it easy, everyone. Bye-bye. As soon as I find that's what, there it is. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Cool.
Thick avatar.